Day, lords and ladies. It's Rimworld Anomaly Till Dawn's End, episode 109, as we dive in to see if we can win this scenario. So first things first, we need to land, and we've taken out one of the beacons. We've still got two left to go here. So get everyone who can quickly move. Get them aboard the vertibird. My plan, as I previously mentioned, is to land this little zone we have just around here of light, pop a bunch of flares, and then we'll see how we go. There's obviously something down here in the dark. Yeah, there is a nocturne. Something to be worried about. Okay, so before we touch off, is there anything we need to look at? Yeah, these guys are starting to run out of meat, so we should probably order. We should probably order chimera corpses to be harvested. Okay. Everyone get to the shuttle. Anyone who isn't on shuttle duty or is healing up because you got hit by something. How are we looking on fuel for both of these? Fine. Okay. We are getting a tad low on fuel in the refinery though, so let's have 60 fuel each pumped out here for collection. Okay, everyone get in the craft. And we've got to land here, deal with the anomaly, fly back to base, deal with what is summoned by it, then do the next one, fly back, deal with what's summoned by it, and hopefully we don't get absolutely wrecked. Okay. So let's land as close as we can to this. Hopefully it works. There are no enemies nearby, so we stand a good chance. Okay, let's do this. Everybody out. Pop flares, please. I'm also going to pop them slightly further away from us as well. So it gives us a bit of breathing room. Sergeant Kerno, start activating the pillar. Corporal Amatoro, you can go forward here. Drop another flare over here to give us a bit of warning. The rest of you, watch the good sergeant. Right, in case anything spawns in the dark. Okay. Let's get time moved on. Still a couple of nocturnes out there. Wait, there's something on the map. Cigar Hulk. Okay. Quickly. Finish the process. I mean, I got enough guards covering Sergeant Kerno. Everyone, board bird. We've got hostile incoming. Go, go, go. Quickly before it gets to us. Okay. The incoming wave is coming soon as well. Yeah, entity attack. So what are we looking at? Devourers. Gore Hulks. More Devourers. That's a lot less than I thought it was going to be honest. Okay. Unless there's something hidden in the wave. This is concerning. Not going to lie. I mean, soon enough they're going to get within gun range, and then things are going to get fun. I mean, my main concern I have is that someone is going to... like, one of these waves is going to have a Revenant or something hidden in it. Okay. I mean, I have proofed this base as much as possible. Like, we do have one weakness, this was down here. So if we get swarmed by enough enemies, they may be able to get around this side and start smashing in the wall. If they break into the lab, we will have to fall back and try and hold this choke point. But we'll see. I mean, there's a few of them. I mean, playing defensive in this game is always quite a good strategy. Especially in Anomaly, where the enemies are brutal in melee. I would have loved to have done like a medieval Anomaly playthrough, like just using like either tribal or medieval tech civilization, and have it tuned so we didn't get certain Anomaly events, such as because like stuff like the Revenant would be like a hard counter. And like the Flesh Beasts, maybe like toning down like the Flesh Beast. I don't know, that'd be good to see. Maybe something for the next series. So we're really putting the pain on them down here. See them coming up. I mean, there's going to be like a mound of bodies. If we don't die from disease after it, it's going to be an incredible feat. Yeah, that thing's dead. It's with half the benefits. We are doing this in winter, which prevents as much corpse stench as we normally would get. I mean, like, these guns are just brutal. Like, defensive machine gun turret pack is just like... if you're going for a hard series, like, this is the pack to have. Okay. Well, that's dead. That's dying. Okay. I think the one concern we do have is sleep levels of everyone. So let's grab everyone who is still active, get them back in the Vetribird, and we'll send them off to the next pillar. I'm just sorry. My nervousness is like rock high right now. I am just nervous about a Revenant turning up, because there are very few enemies in this game that can, I believe at this stage of how well we designed our base, actually stop us. The Revenant is one of them. Like the Flesh Heart is another one, as is like the Pit. So if you get another Pit summon, but it happens in the base, we're going to be in for a really nasty time. Like, our base is a really nice fortress, but it does have a few key weaknesses. Predominantly, the main key weakness is that it's this section of the base down here is only connected through a single corridor for security reasons. So if anything busts into this base, part of the base, we have to hold it. Especially considering that this part of the base has the nuclear power plant, which has to be kept functioning at all times because it has some unfortunate side effects if it doesn't. I would admit, stuff like the shuttle mods really make this kind of encounter quite easy. Not going to lie. Metal Horror. I mean, this is going to be a slightly harder fight, partly because there are more enemies on the side of the map, partly because if our gun turrets open up, we are in for a really bad time. Okay. Pop the flares, please. We're going to light them up in this direction to give us breathing room. Activate the beacon, please. The rest of you cover us. Many approaching forces. Drop here as well, just in case anything nasty tries to rush us in the dark. Yeah. We need to get this done. You've got what's your medical concern? Migraine. Okay. Suppose once this is done, we'll either have another wave of structures to activate, or it will be this thing itself, which will be interesting to see. And then we'll have to decide who goes into the beacon. Okay, the beacon activates. Everyone, all the shuttle, we are leaving. Okay. Structures activated. All structures activated. The space around the Void Monolith has begun to simmer. Get ready. 4 hours. We must hold for 4 hours as this thing activates. We've got another entity attack. What are we looking at? Nocturne. More Nocturne. More Nocturne. More Nocturne. Okay. I mean, not going to lie, slightly disappointed by that. Was kind of hoping that it would maybe get some more zombies, because the zombies, the ghouls in this are really interesting, especially if you have like the zombie infection and all that kind of stuff going on. I look forward to see how people develop that mod, that aspect of the mod, like because there are a number of zombie mods, so the ghouls and like having the shamblers and how they work would be really interesting to see developed further. Okay. I mean, like, these are nocturnes. They're nasty things to deal with, honestly, but we've got enough. 1 second, folks. It's about that, folks. Right, so yeah, nocturnes. I have been thinking about it, to be honest. I was thinking what series to do after I've done this. Oh no, the lights got knocked out. Oh no. Something went off too close. We need to get those lights back on. Quick. Go and do it now. Yeah, and the only place this fails is when we have a loss of security. Okay, so there were sight stealers in the base. That muddles things up a bit. Food supplies are okay. Anywhere that's got the light off, though, I get nervous about. Okay. If there's... Yeah, if there's creatures about, they'll be down here as well, the sight stealers. Okay. A bit nervous. Yeah. I mean, sight stylers are annoying, but we can deal with them. No. Get that back online, please. We'll make approach to this structure harder, though. Okay. Hold fire on that for now. You're not one of the persons that has one of the flares, are you? Hold fire for now. I hear banging on doors. Yeah, we haven't got any issues with security at the moment, and this is ticking down. I wonder what will happen. I mean, there's nocturnes over there, so if we fly over here, it's going to get interesting. I wonder if they actually have flare mortar rounds. That would be cool. Sight stealer revealed. Where to? Yeah, down here. I mean, twisting manifestation. The monolith shape begins to distort and shift and grow in intensity. Something is happening. Okay. You harbor in green void monolith. The monolith finally awakens. Swirling dark vortex sits atop its peak, forming conduit to the void. Go to the monolith and use it to pass through to the other side. Doing so will end the unnatural darkness and end the horrors of the assault. Okay. That's the case, but there's still metal horrors, which means that we do need to enter this fortification and deal with it. I mean, we're pretty safe in our little base. My early concern about this particular, the end game event was that we'd got a pit horrors event popping up inside the facility. Either that, or we had something like a site stealer. The lack of flying enemies, I think that's one of the main issues that Rimworld has. The lack of flying enemies in Anomaly meant that you could literally just turtle up. You could build like a fortress and hold the checkpoints, put defensive turrets in place. Now, I would admit, this particular mod is very powerful. Defensive machine gun turret pack is very powerful. Having something that does this amount of damage with as much armor penetration, it even took down this necrosphere, which is considered to be like a lethal encounter in this game, from what I've been told. If you haven't got it, it's if we didn't have the thing set up the way we did, it would be very different. Okay, so let's first bombard these things to get them to come out. Okay, so they're coming out and we'll deal with them before we do anything else. Okay. Once we dealt with them, we'll send out a team to investigate the ruin. I wonder who it will be. It'll definitely be Sergeant Colonel and Dr. Cosma, because they're the lead scientist and lead military personnel member. Probably have a small team. Dr. Cosma, one of his assistants, and a few security personnel. Probably half my personnel strength. Some to guard the base, some to guard the research team. There's a site stealer on the door. Okay, that's not an issue. But you just see how much, how these metal horrors get wrecked. They have good stats. They're supposed to have good armor. Good armor resistance, basically. Innate armor resistance. That metal horror is getting shredded. Okay. So now it involves landing at the beacon, at the monolith. So we want Sergeant Colonel, Dr. Cosma, probably Lee Wen. Who else? Yeah, he's probably going to take you. Okay, so it's going to be you. You'll want to leave his wife behind, I think, because he doesn't want to risk her. After the loss of their daughter. Okay, so it's going to be U6. Plus Dr. Cosmo plus his assistant. get to the shuttle, please? Okay. So. Get to the shuttle. Yeah, so we can perform any more rituals. I think at this point, like, Sergeant Colonel is just wanting to, like, whatever's going on, whatever this torment has been unleashed by them, by Dr. Cosmo, they want it to end. And it needs to end now before it gets any more out of control. So he orders Dr. Cosmo, one of his assistants, and a detachment of his security team. They are going to the monolith. It seems to become activated. He leaves his wife, well, it was his fiancée, isn't it? No, it's his wife. He leaves his wife in charge of the facility until they get back. He orders, if they don't return, to basically evacuate as best they can. And they are going to make a run for the monolith. And look, there's a gore Hulk coming in to protect it, unfortunately, so it's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. Come on. So we'll land under fire because there are enemies still in this area. Okay. Pop flares. Sergeant Kerner orders. Who would it be? It would be Lewin or Dr. Cosmos. No, it's probably going to be Lewin because he's going to order Lewin to activate it so that in case Dr. Cosmo gets killed. Right. The fire will give us a bit of cover on this side, but yeah. Lewin is ordered to activate the beacon. Let's finish activating the void beacon. What's happening? The world goes dark. More flares. Where is this? Lewin teleports. Lewin has activated the monolith that has been ripped from your space-time into another place. She finds herself in a room with jagged metal spikes. Every surface is slick with dark fluid, and the air vibrates with power. This metal hell is a connecting channel to inhuman intelligence. Interesting, twisted architecture. Fascinating. So probably Lewin starts to sort of look around. Back in the normal world, like Dr. Cosmos seeing that this is taking place, probably rushes them towards the monolith to try and get it done himself. Like he wants to see what's on the other side. All the time, Sergeant Kerno and his security team watch on with growing and trepidation. Like Sergeant Kerno moves up to the side. And then Dr. Cosmo vanishes. Yeah, so Dr. Cosmo turns up here as well. So it's wandering about, looking at the bizarre architecture and energy. Sergeant Kerner, not really trusting him, dives in afterwards. As Dr. Cosmo sees Llewellyn, Lee Wen sort of looking around, the two are exchanging information and gossip as they're sort of looking at the structure and the floating void node at the centre of it all. A rolling sphere of twisting energy, physical energy, powered by nearby architect machinery. It is one part of a bridge from our world into the black void. And then there were three. I think he is got a proper flair. Doesn't really do a lot except twist and warp the landscape. Sergeant Curdo sort of comes over here, sees that Dr. Cosmo and Dr. Llewellyn, Dr. Cosmo and assistant Lee Win are basically discussing what to do. It almost looks like Dr. Cosmo is planning to reach out towards the device, and Sergeant Curno steps forward and just points a gun at him. Like, no. Like this will not happen. He will not allow... He has done much for the service of his country, but this he will not permit to happen. He will not permit Dr. Cosmo to meddle with powers that he does not understand. So before Dr. Cosmo and Lee Win can do anything, Sergeant Curno throws himself at the node and reaches out a hand and touches it. A sphere of writhing psychic energy rises before Sergeant Curno. He feels a presence inside his mind deeper than any normal human sense. He stands on the shoreline of an infinite black ocean of power. It beckons him in. Nearby architect devices support the sphere along a fragile connection. Sergeant Curno, he could disrupt them, close this link between worlds, or he could step into the sphere and merge with the void. It's unknown what dark power could be gained from this inhuman act. But Sergeant Curno is made of stern stuff, so he is going to disrupt the link because he does not believe that any one person should have access to this power. And quietly he is fearful of what comes next. If his own government has access to it. The psychic flows destabilize and twist machinery, twisting the machinery screams. A swirling void flickers. Sergeant Curno feels it shudder and collapse in on itself. The metallic cavern begins to twist, reshaping like a chamber of a massive heart. Before Sergeant Curno has a chance to scream, he blinks out of existence. Sergeant Curno has rejected the void. His story continues. Well, folks. Well. Is this the end of Sergeant Curno? Who knows? Let's just skip the credits and get back to the world and see what happened to the survivors. Someone allied with us because we destroyed them out. Yeah, has become allied. Quest complete. You've successfully completed the Monolith quest. Sergeant Curno has activated the portal and ripped from space into another place. So he's been ripped from space and time. But there is no Sergeant Curno. There is no Dr. Cosmo, there is no Lee Win. Just a mound of rotting corpses. An absolute ton of rotting corpses. The security team look around just before Corporal it's before Corporal Amatoro basically orders everyone back in, and they launch back towards the research outpost. She will have to make a report to her superiors. But even as they take off, there's a ripple in space-time as Sergeant Curno, Dr. Cosmo, and Lee Wen return just in time to see the shuttle fly high into the air. And with a grumbling, frustrated sigh, the three of them have to now trudge on foot back across the landscape back to the research outpost. Dr. Cosmo lamenting the entire time that the monolith and the potential knowledge has been lost. Yeah, Sergeant Curno has appeared. He's weary from his sex, but otherwise healthy. By closing channel to the void, Sergeant Curno has stopped any more unnatural phenomenon from entering our world. Hostile entities in the area all fall under the count lifeless. Tales of heroism are sort of spread far and wide. And as he sort of the three of them traipse back over like the mound of dead bodies, with Dr. Cosmo sort of like grumbling in the background, Sergeant Kerno does inform him that he still has his research subjects, the living creatures. He still has all the tech they unlocked, the ghouls, and all the other things that is now available for him to continue his research. But as they get back to base, Sergeant Kerno takes a moment just to breathe it all in. He takes it just to sort of sit down and allow his people just to get back to their daily tasks. He orders the base to be checked and everything to be checked. He sends off his updated report to command. And quietly to himself, Sergeant Kerno was worried. The facility he was in charge of, the reports he was sending to higher command, he wasn't getting much feedback from his superiors. They would give him short-terse answers, informing him of things that he had to do, like make sure the scientific research continued, but they never seemed to be alarmed by what was happening at the facility. But now, when he informed them of the destruction of the monolith and the completion of most of the research, he received much longer instructions. Sergeant Kerno, this is Central Command. New orders as follows. You are to secure the research team for extraction and debrief. We are sending support squads to your location to facilitate your reallocation to a new location, a new deployment. The on-site scientists under Dr. Cosmo will continue their research at the facility. Make sure that all research samples and data are secured and copied for removal from site. The government thanks you for your efforts, Sergeant, and we look forward to future cooperation with this initiative of ours. As the line goes dead, Sergeant Kerno can't help but feel a sense of slight unease, as all of this seems unsurprising to his superiors. These outlandish events that have taken place. And as he glances up at the sky, he can already see the outline of several large shuttlecraft inbound towards the facility. Almost, he thinks, as if they were waiting for something to happen. Did they know that this would happen? Who knows? But as he sort of writes in his journal and finishes his report, he can't help but shake that sense of quiet uncertainty. But that's for next time, folks, and see how if his story proceeds further. As we come to the end of Rimworld Anomaly, with Sergeant Kerno, his security team, and Dr. Cosmo and his research team at Research Outpost 36. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Rimworld Anomaly till Dawn's End. Thank you all for watching. And that is the end of our series. Goodbye.